Hey guys, welcome to week 2 of emergency management. Hopefully you guys are doing great. Wanted to send a quick video out in regards to last week's um, assignments, last week's discussion board, but also moving to this week as well. Sorry if I sound and look a little tired today. We had a training this weekend, so just catching up Monday morning. But nonetheless, guys, so a couple housekeeping notes. If you haven't gotten the book yet for class, it hasn't arrived, whatever it is, don't sweat it, right? Don't sweat it. Hopefully it comes to you in the next couple days. Just get the assignment in as soon as possible. Don't overthink it, anything like that, and that way we'll be okay. Discussion boards, just to touch on that again, the first week is kind of just getting used to everything, but the discussion board, as I mentioned, and I sent out an email to you guys, make sure that you're getting your first post in by Wednesday. Otherwise, we're not able to reflect on the other people's comments the way we do. I go in there as well and make comments to your original post. That way, then by Sunday, you aren't just catching up to everybody's posts and just going in there and throwing in 5 posts real quick just to complete that. So just make sure you're doing the right thing, because I can see when you're posting, and I can also see when you're adding it to other people. So just be aware of that and make sure we're all doing the right thing and we'll be good to go. So last week, the discussion board post and then also the chapter summaries are focusing on decision making, right? Decision making and how we go about those. So the first discussion board post, I asked you guys to think about something you made a decision on, to reflect on it, to kind of dissect how you went about that, but then asked other people to kind of look at your decision making process to see how it was, to see if they could give you any feedback on what it is that you could do in regards to your decision making. The first couple chapters in this book really focus on decision making, because they want to point out how important you go about the decision-making process, whether that's the military decision-making process or that's your own process, whatever it is, but just how you go about deciding how to act on something. And sometimes we won't have that much time to think about how we're going to respond. So the more ingrained a decision-making process is in our life, the more we're going to be inclined to stick to something like that. So this week, I focus again on the discussion board post on decision making. Now this one, I took kind of a personal side to it, and I want you guys to understand the importance of the smallest decisions made over and over again. What I mean by that, and I put it in there, is daily decisions determine your destination. Cheesy, I agree, it is cheesy, but with that, every decision adds up. It may not seem like that decision you made over this past weekend was that big of a deal. If you chose, let's just use alcohol for instance, you chose to engage in a good amount of drinking over the weekend, right? Not a big deal for most people, I guess. Let's say you were a little bit under the weather yesterday or Saturday, and then that might have carried over to just a slow start to a Monday, or still recovering from the weekend. That might affect a couple things: work performance, exercise, what you eat, how you interact with people. And then it's just a trickle effect on what it builds on, guys. So I'm not saying not go out and have a good time, but what I am saying is understand the decisions you make repeatedly add up. Let's say you chose to do that every weekend. Over time, that added up to 50-something weeks a year. That's a good amount, right? Let's say every weekend you chose to engage in that, and then all of a sudden you're spending money in the wrong places. Maybe you're eating the wrong things. Maybe your priorities are switching because you're having to adjust. Something as small as that adds up, guys. So look at the decisions you made today already and ask yourself, is this moving me closer to where I want to be or further away? And sometimes decisions are just leaving us stagnant, right? They're just leaving us exactly where we're currently at. And sometimes we got to be okay with that. Sometimes a decision we make may not be moving us closer, but just know as long as we're not moving in the wrong direction, we're going to be okay. So just start thinking about those decisions we're making, guys, going in the right direction. So this week, we're diving into the short history of decision making. What I want you guys to focus is on this chapter is looking at a couple things here: the checklist and the SOPs, the standard operating procedures when looking at these. When you develop your own SOPs in life, when you develop your own checklist that you need to go about making your decisions, it's going to give you more of a fluid track on what you need to be doing, right? It'll keep you on track. And that's why going into a lot of the organizations you guys want to go into, there are standing SOPs to make sure everyone is on the same page. The sooner you guys get on track with keeping something very consistent as far as how you operate, I don't want you to turn into a robot, but it will make your lives a little bit more seamless as far as how you transition into other things. So definitely focus in on, and one of the questions this week in the chapter summary is, what type of checklists do you relate to? What type of SOPs do you have for your own life? What will you not waver from with SOPs in your own life, guys? So dive into more decision making this week. Look closely at this chapter. Look closely at the decision making models that are given to you guys. Don't just skim through it. Literally start thinking about which one you relate to more. Maybe you don't have a decision-making process that you're currently using right now. If that's the case, you have to have a compass that guides you. You just do. You can't wake up each day and just, let's just see what happens. You have to have something that guides you each day. Otherwise, guys, life becomes pretty complicated, more complicated than it actually already is, if you don't have a compass that guides you each day. So with that, guys, have a great week. If you got any questions, let me know. Here to help you guys out. If you haven't gotten the book yet, please get that ASAP, knock out the first 2 assignments, and we'll be good to go, guys. Take care, stay ready, stay safe. If you guys need something, let me know.